Hello, my name is Sasha, and in this podcast episode with Mustafa, we speak about my journey from Ukraine to Sweden because of the war and how I was looking for work here in Sweden. Hope you're gonna enjoy this story. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for listening to Urbanistica Podcast. I am Mustafa Sharif, an urban planner, and you're more than welcome to join my big journey of exploring the making of smarter and more livable cities. Please don't forget to follow Urbanistica on the different social media platforms, and also let's connect on LinkedIn. Big thanks to Urbanistica podcast partner AFRY. AFRY is an international engineering and design company providing sustainable solutions in the fields of energy, industry, and infrastructure. Are you ready for a new episode? Let's go for it. I have the pleasure to welcome you, Sasha, to Urbanistica Podcast. Hey, and welcome.
Hey, Mustafa, thank you so much for this opportunity.
My pleasure. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good that we make time for the podcast. So
Yeah.
I'm happy to have you. And I don't know if I say your name right, like Sasha, but your name is like not Sasha, Or how is it?
This is like nickname. My name is Oleksandra,
Yeah.
but no one say like this. It's like too long, and it's more for documents and more official stuff, I guess. But for colleagues, for friends, and
Yeah,
just Sasha.
and also for your podcast fans.
Okay, if they will be.
Sure, they will be. So, all good with you? How was your day so far?
It's really good. It's a lot of work now, and
Yeah.
I'm really happy about this.
Yeah, and but I think you're not so much happy about the weather in Sweden.
No, but it's a thing you get used to, I guess.
Yeah, because this is your first time experiencing this weather, right?
Mm,
Or
I experienced this more as living in Sweden, but I was visiting
yeah,
it before
yeah.
in this weather as well. So this is not like something shock for me. So we have this weather in Kiev too sometimes.
Okay.
So
Then it's a kind like home.
yeah,
Yeah.
almost.
So let's start with you. You are our storyteller. How would you like to introduce yourself to our listeners?
I'm Sasha, as you might guess. I'm from Kiev, Ukraine. I'm a landscape architect, but I have architect education, and I came to landscape architect profession super accidentally. I didn't really plan to end up there, but I'm really great in the end, and I'm happy to work with this. This is really passionable for me and
Nice.
exciting.
Super cool. So, like, how, or take us back in time, like, where you born, how big is your family, and so on.
I was born in Crimea. That's where my mom was studying for become doctor, and I was born there, but I haven't lived there so long time. We moved to the south of Ukraine. I was living with my grandparents for a few years when my mom went to Kiev to make her doctor career, if I can say like that.
Yeah.
So I was living with my grandma and my granddad in a little village on the south of Ukraine. It was really nice childhood. And then I moved to Kiev back to my mom, where I started to go to school, and just since that time I was living there.
Yeah. So your architecture school is in Kiev?
Yes.
Okay. What is the name of the university?
It's super long. It's Kiev National University of Construction and Architecture. So it's not only architecture. They have like architecture faculty.
Yeah.
But it's more of a builder and engineer.
And how did it happen that you start to study architecture? Like, because usually this is the story that, okay, maybe my cousin or maybe my parents and so on. But what was your case?
It wasn't super unique. I just loved to paint from my childhood, and everyone said to me, "You should become an architect because you paint."
Yeah.
I never understand that logic. Why? You can become designer, you can become,
True.
but I don't know. This mind was always with me, and I was thinking, why not? It sounds interesting, but I had no understanding what is I know that they make buildings. That's it.
Yeah.
So it was just a try.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would say it wasn't like super
Like a goal
a
or
goal. Yes.
planned.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
It's the same for me actually here. Like it's almost the same story. Like I also good in drawing, and my parents and family told me, okay, but you should maybe be an architect because you're doing good in drawing. I'd be like, okay, but there are some logo designers, there are graphic designers, artists, they'd be like, no, 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 no. Architect is good. They will get good pay, salary.
Absolutely. And it also sounds super successful and super
Yeah,
cool, right?
like architect. And like in my case, we have like Zaha Hadid from my country.
Yeah.
And everyone, oh, you should be like her and so on. I mean, in the end, it turned good. And that's fine. So what are you passionate about, Sasha?
I'm passionate about my profession. As I said, it's not only work, it's also my hobby. Just like I can walk in the city and I look at the landscape and it makes me excited. And I also passionate about the surround. How cool is it? The buildings, like everything like this.
Yeah. Because when you started, it was not something you're passionate about when you started to study, but so how did this passion started or became something as you love? Is it like through schools or when you start to work projects?
It started in school, I think, because I started to learn a lot of other architects who become successful, like Zaha Hadid also.
Yeah.
I was her big fan in university time, especially of her works. And this motivate me so much and also inspired. And I start to read a lot about different objects, different buildings, maybe not modern, but also like historical ones. And you get in and like you can't stop anymore, and you start to love it. And
yeah,
that
so
was
true. So when you graduated, was it like 5 years or how many years is it in
yeah,
Ukraine?
I graduated from my bachelor in 2018, and from master I graduated in Corona.
Okay.
In 2020, my group was the first one who experienced online graduation.
That's not so cool.
No, but it was some new experience for me.
Yeah, yeah. And then you started to work directly, or when was like your professional?
No, I started to work on my course in university. I was about finishing bachelor, and I started to work at pretty famous and big Ukrainian architectural company, I would say.
What's the name?
It's called Archimatica. It's really big in Ukraine. It was like when you're a student, it's like a dream to be
that's
there.
nice. How many people are we talking about? Like how many employees or architects?
It was 150 when I was there.
Okay, that's big.
So yeah, it's pretty big.
So dream come true.
Yeah. And it come true when you never expect it to come true. Like I never even thought to go there. It was just accidental as usual.
So you worked there and with what specifically?
I worked there with detail landscape architecture. So I wasn't like create something. I was just making detailed design for drawing which already been made.
Yeah.
So that was really good experience to understand how everything works in landscape.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm really appreciate that time and that that possibility that I end up there.
And did you continue in the same office or did you change job?
I changed job after 3 years working there.
3 years.
Yeah.
Wow. So you I guess you work with different projects as well?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
worked like more than 7, 8 projects
Wow.
for this time.
Like which kind of projects?
It was a lot of residential, like yards, with different options. Like it could be also street, it could be playgrounds, public spaces, and so many other stuff. Like, yeah, also with schools a little bit, and landscape or offices, also like with different public spaces and other functions.
So more like the urban design, the outdoor
Yeah,
design.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then after 3 years, you change job?
I change the position. I went to
Be a
more.
manager.
No, I went to more like also popular but a little bit smaller company
Mhm.
where they offer me to be not only like make a detailed design but also like make a idea like conception.
Okay.
And that's what I was really missing
Mhm.
on my first work,
Yeah.
that I can't really produce anything. Maybe I have some
Yeah.
good skills to produce something.
Mm.
I wasn't sure, so that's why I wanted to try. Maybe
Yeah.
I will become good as conceptualist or
Yeah, who knows? So more like in the early stages.
yeah.
When
And
you
then and after this year develop project to the last stage.
Yeah.
So like it's like here in AFRY.
Yeah. So then you graduated during the COVID and still working, right?
Yeah, I was working since the first course of university till this year.
You have more work experience than me, like just these years,
I don't know.
I graduated 2018.
So like a year before.
Yeah.
I think it's a common thing in my country when you start working pretty early.
Very early.
Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, but I also realize it has pluses and minuses as well.
I think it's good because you're like in touch with reality.
Yeah.
Maybe minuses or that you're like too realistic and you lose this fantasy that we have in academia. Or what do you think?
I think the biggest minus that you basically share yourself. You need to split yourself between work and studies,
True.
and it never work because you rather study, you rather work.
Yeah, if you want to focus all in.
Yeah, if you have full-time work as I had.
Oh wow, that's
so
big.
It was really hard for me to combine both. So with time, my university success was really low because in the beginning I was pretty good student. I had scholarship, teachers loved me, and I made a good work in university. But since I started working, my university went to the zero. I was just about to kicked off.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, I also have this experience being kicked off from university.
Oh my god, I would never imagine that because you're so good and so on. So
No.
this is like behind the scenes.
Absolutely, that's true.
Yeah.
That's so true.
So like, but if it was like 50% or something, then should be fine, right? Like not full time.
No, I think it's good to have balance.
Yeah.
Because you also work full time, you study on the weekends or at night.
Yeah.
And it's not good both for mentally, both for physical health as well.
True, because then you lose the life outside. You're either at university or at work.
Yeah, you're trying to reach something. Then in the end, you don't understand what you even want.
Yeah, that's true. So you kept working until the war started, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember we had deadline, and it was a day before war started.
Yeah.
We were discussing how we're gonna manage this deadline, and I'm saying maybe it's gonna be war tomorrow. And it started
Shit.
actually, but till the end, I was planning to go to work.
Oh wow.
So and
So when the war started, you kept go to office or no? It was like from home.
no, I didn't went to office
Mm.
because my office quite far from my home,
Yeah.
and I don't really understand that time what should I do.
So just being at
And I
home.
decided to stay at home
Mm.
because it was more safer maybe than just to get stuck in the other end
Yeah.
of the city.
And how is the team? Did they say, like, your manager say, okay, we pause everything because now it's very special at how'd say situation, or no, keep working from home?
I think it was super chaotic in the beginning. I think our manager said to us that we not gonna come to work upcoming week because
Yeah.
we're gonna update you according the situation.
Yeah.
And in the end, no one came to office. And
Mhm.
maybe this summer, our manager update us that we gonna shut down on unpredictable
Okay.
time. So you should find work or trying to do something else.
Just like for living, like getting
Yeah,
salary.
because a lot of people was waiting that
This will
maybe we'll
end.
continue to work, but it's pretty small company and we so much depends on the customers, and all customers,
Yeah.
they don't want to build anything
Nice.
when it's war in the country.
Of course not. Yeah.
So
So for how long being at home until you be like, okay, we need to move outside of the country?
I was for 5 days in Kiev,
Mm.
and it was very scary. It was every day, and we just didn't know what we're gonna do. It was so
Yeah.
like you can't predict this what's gonna happen tomorrow.
No.
Like, but we didn't have any plan, and I have a boyfriend in Sweden, but it's a question how to get there, and it's pretty
Yeah.
far
Because
from.
you live with your mom?
Yeah, I was live with my mom, and our grandma, she was uh, living in the city near Kiev, like 20 minutes with car. So we basically were pretty near each other. And when I remember when it was a morning when they bombed a house, like residential house near my home, like 200 meters from me. And I got super scared, and we decided that day that we should leave because it doesn't become better with every day. It's even worse. And then we went first to my grandma just to take her.
Yeah.
Because
Did you bring your luggage, or what did you bring from home? Like,
our original plan was we going to stay to metro. We going to stay in the metro when it's air alarm.
yeah, like for
Because
protection.
yeah, for protection, because we didn't really have a good basement in our apartment.
Okay.
Because it's still a mystery for me. Like Ukraine was in war last time 70 years ago.
Yeah. So you cannot even
and
imagine this.
and no one, and like you had experience of war and like a situation which can bring you war, and no one built a normal basement in apartments.
Yeah.
And
Like there is no need. Makes sense. Like,
yeah,
why should we build it?
no, absolutely, like yes. And we decided that to stay in our basement, it's really dangerous because it's not a basement at all. It's just like corridor
Yeah.
with some equipment.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a protective door and stuff.
Or materials. Yeah.
And materials, like, so if the bomb will fall down the building, we will die in this basement.
Mm.
So we decided we're gonna stay in metro.
Yeah.
And
And how did you like how, yeah, how did you say, okay, we go to this metro station? Is it like the closest one, or where like specific metro station that you should go to?
no, all metro station works
Yeah.
because they're
Yeah.
underground,
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah.
And our nearest metro was like 15 minutes from our house, so not super close, but it's still anything. It's better than
Yeah.
the nothing.
So you packed your luggage and went to metro or something
No,
like
I packed only my passport, my dog food, and something to sit on because we didn't know how much time we're gonna spend there. So I took only this.
So no food, no stuff.
Some
bit.
food also, like one bottle of water and some snacks maybe.
So when you I want to talk about details so our listeners will get this because we don't hear about this.
Mm.
So excuse me if I like
No,
take up
it's
some
fine.
stars. Yeah. So like when you went out, you be like, okay, we will not come back, or what is the idea? What is the plan? Or you say, okay, we just go to metro and then we come back maybe tomorrow or tonight.
Yeah. Should I start from the beginning maybe?
No, you just continue like this talking about
Mhm.
situation.
No, we didn't really had a specific plan what we're gonna do for this upcoming 2 hours or maybe half a day. We planned, okay, we're gonna stay in metro and then we're gonna plan what should we do. Maybe we're gonna go to grab grandma and go out to the other city, which is more safer, to the west of Ukraine, for example, which is close to the border also with other countries. So we decided first we're gonna stay in metro just to wait when this bomb attack gonna finish, and we're gonna think like without any stress. And we also saw that metro doesn't work, so like no transport didn't work that time. Like so, metro was only like a shelter.
Okay, so how was in the inside like when you went down?
It
Full
was
of
full of people, full of animals, full of kids. It was like a mix between zoo and people.
Wow.
It was, yeah, it was incredible, and I never seen something like that.
So like and like how to say there were electricity, right? Like some
Yeah, electricity,
and
water, everything.
ventilation.
Yeah, of
So
course.
it was not like super crowded and you
Nay,
crowded, yes, maybe, but maybe you can breathe and so on, right?
no, of course
Yeah.
it was perfect shelter.
Uh,
It was like you can stay there.
and did you had like people guiding, say yes, you stay here, you go
No,
there, or no? It's just like self-organizing.
no, was no guiding. It wasn't really to guide something like here's the metro. It's a shelter.
Just go.
That's like where you're supposed to stay
Yeah.
to be safe.
And how about like the inside the metro? Because there is no, you cannot charge phone, or I guess there are not so many electricity outlets. Or how was the time in the metro? Tell us.
No, it wasn't. It was no electricity, of course. No, nothing where you can charge your devices. It was only light, and that's it. So everyone was just bringing their pillows or mattress where they can sit. Some people were sleeping there with kids, with dogs, with
Yeah.
cats,
Yeah.
with parrots and other animals.
Yeah.
It was even big families. It was lonely people. It was old people, young. Like it was everyone who lives in city was in metro.
Wow. And how was the atmosphere between people? Like, is it
The atmosphere, I was surprised, but atmosphere was really not calming, but it wasn't it wasn't
like there were not panic and everyone screaming and
I was really panic in the beginning, but like when you are in this metro, you look at the other people and you realize everyone has the same situation, and
yeah.
it makes you calm that you're not alone
You're
here.
not, yeah.
And a lot of people were starting to sing songs, and it was like on the whole
Yeah.
whole station was just like a radio, like the big radio.
Yeah.
And that's how people try to make each other calm.
Yeah.
And it was really it really helped.
And how about like the food, the water, the toilets?
It was no toilets, and food, it was what you bring
What
by
do you
yourself.
bring? Yeah.
But we didn't stay there like long time.
So you went there with your mom. You went down.
Yeah, I went there with my mom, with my backpack, and with my dog.
Yeah.
And then I see metro is goes. It's
like
it's only stops when it's like air
But
attack.
otherwise it's like the
Yeah,
metro is
but
moving.
yeah, but I didn't know about this. I thought all transport is stopped,
Yeah.
and that's why, because we wanted to go to our grandma.
Yeah,
That was
true.
our original plan. We didn't want really to stay in Kiev,
Mm.
and we didn't know if the transportation goes, we would go, but
Yeah.
we didn't know for sure. And
True.
to like order taxi, it was impossible. Of
Because
course,
when you went down from the flat to the metro, you didn't see any cars moving, or everything was like stopped.
it
Kind of
was only private cars. Like we didn't have car.
buses or
No buses.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
doesn't work. It's only like private cars.
Yeah.
Who has car, they moves.
They move.
And yeah. And in the beginning, it was like crazy traffic.
Yeah, everyone wants to go out.
It was
Yeah. So you saw the metro and you become like happy. Okay, this is working.
It's not that I become happy, but it was at least something, for some time to be sure that you're gonna be fine at least.
Yeah.
For some hours.
Yeah.
And then we just decided with mom that we're gonna go to grandma because transport is working and metro is the only way to get to her.
Okay.
And all our decision was super spontaneous. It was like
let's do this.
Just think and you do. It's not really it wasn't really a plan.
So you took the metro to grandma.
Yeah, we took a metro to grandma, then we took a bus which also was working, and we went there. And now I realize it wasn't really smart idea to go to a city which is near Kiev, because all cities which is outside, like, they were destroyed and a lot of people were killed there. But our grandma town, it was more souther, and Russian didn't take it. But if it would be, if this town would be like on the north, I don't know even what would happen.
So this now, like, which day after the war? Is it like after a month or after a few days?
It was 5th day, I think.
Okay, so not so long from the start.
No, but
Okay.
it feels like it was really long. These 5 days was really long.
I can imagine. Yeah. So you took a grandma and then?
We just went to grandma and we were just staying there for 2 days. And then, like, we also have a lot of friends who call. Like, you always have different kind of information. Then you watch news, you asking what your friends is doing, what they have for plan, and according to this, you also thinking what you should do, because you can't really. This is the situation which you can't really know what the right way is.
Yeah.
So my mom had a lot of calls from her friends and from other people and friends of their friends, and everyone was saying, you should leave it. It will take longer. We don't, like, no one knows how it ended up.
Yeah.
Because I still had like I believe in my heart that it maybe will take a week.
Okay.
It can't be like how it can be
how
so long.
For how long? Yeah.
Yeah, it maybe take maximum a week, maybe just to show the power or something. Yeah, and we realized nothing is changing. We need to just leave this area, because Kyiv is the most important thing to destroy, maybe for the first. And it was a train, like trains where my grandma lives. It was trains which was still going, and we had a plan that we go to this train, go to Kiev again, but we're not gonna go home. We only gonna go to Central Station, because from this station all trains goes to other cities of Ukraine. And it was such a quest, because we didn't know exactly the schedule, and it was maybe not super scheduled that time. It was pretty random, but we finally was in this train, and it was super scary
from grandma to Kiev
Central Station. And
scary because of
you see, like, chaos around you. You see like fire somewhere, you see the explosion, and you think now maybe the bomb
It's coming to me, yeah.
gonna bomb this train or something.
Yeah.
And it was really scary.
Yeah.
But then we came finally to the central station of Kyiv. It was full of people.
Yeah.
It was that full that there was no place even to sit on the floor. Like, I'm not even speaking about benches and we were trying to find out which train we should take, because you can't really buy tickets.
Because the system now,
like everyone just go to train as full as they could. Like, my friends, they were leaving Kyiv also, and they were just sitting in the corridor full of people. You can't really walk. It was like in one cabin, which is for 6 people, it was like 20. And it was kids, animals, everyone.
Everyone, exactly.
Who could escape. They were just was trying to sit on wherever train they could.
Yeah.
And
so how do you plan like the destination? You say, okay, where should we go? Who made the decision?
We went to my mom friend who live in the west of Ukraine.
Yeah.
But it was no like really place to stay for three of us and a dog. And they found another friends who has some room for a few days maybe. So we just decided, okay, we're gonna come for a few days, and then we're gonna plan according to the situation.
Exactly.
So it was like this. Every day was like we not have planned more than a week ahead or a day ahead.
Yeah.
It was super random. Just change everything according to the situation.
To what's happening.
Yeah.
So how was this, like the place or the city where there are stores, like grocery, or could you buy something, or everything was closed?
No, it was working, but all grocery, it was hard to find something because everything was just empty. Like you could see people panic a lot. And you couldn't buy any bread, any milk. It was any conservation. Everything was sold out. And we were just had some food left before war started, because we made a big we do a big shopping of grocery every week, and we did it before war started, and that's what like really helped us a lot, because I don't know, like maybe we couldn't eat just all this time, because on train, of course, it's impossible to buy food when it's full of the people. When it's 3 times more people, it's supposed to be even more.
So you stayed in your mother friend's house?
We tried to find which train we should take, because we couldn't buy, as I said earlier, we couldn't buy any tickets. It was just this train comes, and if you're lucky, you
get the place.
You get in. If you're not, you wait for
the next one.
For the next one, and that's how it works.
So there were, like, how to say, police organizing this, or no? Like,
it was volunteers who organizing this. Was station workers who organized this. But it was hard to organize, because it's like all train system of Ukraine was just broke.
Yeah.
Because of this. And like they made a lot of evacuation trains. And it wasn't really exactly scheduled, which like just approximately, and you just need to come
on
to
the
platform and just like, if you see the destination, and if it at least works for you, maybe not exactly the city you want to
just
get in, but if it goes at least to this destination, you should get to this train.
So is it like 1 train per hour, or no, you don't know?
It was coming pretty recently.
Okay.
Like maybe I wasn't really on platform. I wasn't standing there so long. So I can't really say, but I can guess that it was a lot of trains coming and comes, because there's nothing to wait for. Like people who was on the platform, they just get in
exactly
in 2 minutes, and it gets full immediately.
And that's it.
And then
no delays.
No, no
Yeah,
delays
delays.
at least. And
Yeah,
I remember usually because we were visiting this city before
yeah.
many times, and usually it took like it took maybe in normal situation, I don't know, 10 hours there from Kiev,
Wow,
and we were traveling like a day and a night. It was the train
wow.
was
Yeah,
going
yeah,
so slowly because you can't have like like super speed because
yeah. Because the
it's
capacity.
dangerous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you took the train to where?
I took train to Uzhgorod. This is it's like a city near the border with Romania, and it's like super close. It's like the closest big city to the border. And we had a friend who lived there, so that's why we went there. And we lived there for a week, and it was like comparing to Kiev, it was super like super, how to say, not so dangerous. You feel that you felt little bit safe than in Kiev. And this city was overfull of all people from different cities of Ukraine. Like even when you go to grocery, it's like it wasn't so much food, not because it's like a food delay
Panic.
or so. It was like panic, and it was like more population in the
There.
city than it
Mm.
like supposed to be.
Did you see people on the street or no? Not that.
No, I didn't saw
Mm.
any people because it was like all people become, and still people so this situation made people so united, and everyone
Mm.
tried to help us
Yeah.
as much as they could. If you have like apartment, you live alone,
You take in.
you take some
Mm.
people to live there.
Yeah.
So and it was a lot of camps for
Mm.
refugees. It
Okay.
was like food points, like
Mm.
close points. So like in this in this situation, like everyone, no one was sitting on the street or was
Mm.
hungry.
Mm. Mm. And like during all this time, did you think that okay, this gonna stop tomorrow or in 2 days, or no? You stop to think about this gonna stop. The war will stop.
I think
Like what
like
kind of hope or belief you had?
when it was first day, I thought I had a hope that it can be for long. Like, come on, how it could be longer. But after a week, I realized no, it become really already so big. It can't just finish in a week. So I still hope it gonna finish soon. But it's not like I'm super romanticize it. I like you with some time you start to think more like logically and more like without,
Realistic.
yeah,
Yeah.
more realistic, exactly, without some dreams.
And for how long you stayed in that city, close to the border of Romania?
We stayed for a week because when we just came, we we realized that we probably gonna go to Sweden because my boyfriend is here, and like where else can I be?
Yeah, you have no other choices.
Yeah, no other choices. And we were staying a week there because we had a dog, and we didn't had like special documents for dogs. We came into Sweden because they need like a lot of documentation, which I haven't had with me, of course. And we were waiting when they gonna change the rules because they said we're gonna change the rules for people from Ukraine
You
with
mean Sweden
animals.
changed the
Yeah,
rule? Okay.
yeah, Sweden.
Mm.
Because Poland, they said you don't have to, you don't need to have any documents. If it's your dog, you just, yeah, if you don't even have travel passport, you just can come with your local one. So it was like all it was no restriction at all.
So did you see people start to move out of the country, right? From that city?
Yeah, they start to move the first from the first day. A lot of people, it was so much people who left Ukraine first and second day. And that was also a reason why we stayed longer, because we didn't want to stay on the border for 7 or 10 hours, because like it makes no sense. We pretty safe in the city. We have to stay somewhere. There is no like big rush. And yeah, we were waiting for this restriction for animals would be lighter. And we were also looked for somewhere to stay for my mom and grandma here in Sweden.
Okay. So you were in contact with your boyfriend and
Yeah,
checking
every time, and he found volunteers here in Sweden who gave the apartment for free for my mom and grandma for a few months. It was I was so surprised about how people are nice and kind to this situation. Everyone was so helpful. They tried to help as much as they could, and like uh, I still I so much appreciate that. Like I was so surprised.
so you were there waiting for like restriction about the dog traveling or
Yeah,
animal
because
traveling?
they said that they're gonna make it lighter on the days.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So the time you get an like a okay, now you can.
but yeah, we decided that we need to go in after a week. We they still didn't change anything like officially, and we just took a risk because we couldn't stay there anymore. There was like that apartment wasn't available anymore, unfortunately. And we decided, okay, we take a risk. But I still realized that like they couldn't do anything to my dog anyway.
So where did you go?
We went to Poland border. We stayed there like it was so long. We stayed on this border. It was like 7 hours just on the border, because it
Like
was
just standing
just standing in line
to get in.
to get in. Yes, because of the amount of people who's getting out from Ukraine. Then we went to, after this border cross, we went to.
What did they say when you checked the border? Give me more like details. Did they tell you like what is your name, passport, or no?
On
Just
the
pass?
border control.
Yeah.
No, they just when it was our turn in line, they just took our passports. They checked. They were mostly focusing on men.
Okay.
Because men can, from specific age, they can't leave Ukraine.
Because they need to join military?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you're under military age, you can't leave. So people from 18 till 70, if I'm not wrong.
From 18?
From 18 till 70, they can't leave.
They can't leave?
No.
Like basically like no men will leave.
No, of course, there are some exceptions. If you have like 3 kids, more than 3 kids, you can leave. If you have some health issues and so on, of course you can leave. But mostly, all my guy friends, they still.
So they checked like your name, face, and it's identical.
When we came on car to the border police, they just took our passports. They took them and they went somewhere, and they came like after 5 minutes with stamps. And then they just start to make a checkup of the car and checking if we don't have extra guys trying to escape.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we just went to Poland, and it was
a taxi.
No, it was like a bus who organized the transportation, like just a bus almost. And we crossed the border, and it was first time since the war started when I could relax, because I had still this anxiety that it just can bomb you anytime you're just in Ukraine. And yeah, that was so relief to cross the border, but it was also like you have no idea when you're gonna come back again, if you're gonna see your home again, if you're gonna meet your friends again, if you will come to your apartment, if it will be still there, if it will be still Ukraine. Like you had so much thoughts of this.
Is there something specific you only thought about when you were in the bus? Is it like I just want to survive, or I just want to be like in Sweden? Was it something like, please, I want just this, or no?
Um, it was a lot of thoughts about surviving. Like you were focused on more than ever, especially on the on the security of your family as well, on your of your friends. You were like you were thinking about this so much about all your friends or like people you know who left, who decided to stay in Kiev. You were thinking about them so much. About your I was thinking so much about my apartment. I was so worried it will be
Destroyed.
yeah,
Because you
destroyed.
tell me it's like on the top floor or
Yeah,
no?
it was the highest floor. It was 15th floor.
Super fancy.
Ah, a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
But not so fancy now because it's super dangerous to live on the last floor.
So in the bus and then to which city in Poland?
It was Krakow because we needed a train station to get to another city of Poland. It was another city was Dansk because it was ferries which goes to Stockholm.
Could you decide to which city you go, like when you take the bus, or no? Your first destination is this city.
Before we took this bus, we agreed which
To which?
destination it's
Okay.
gonna be.
Yeah.
So, and usually they bring people to cities with big train stations. So from there they could go somewhere else. So it was Krakow when uh, when we when we came to this train station. I was basically shocked. It was even worse than in Kiev. It was like full of people, full of Ukrainian people, mostly like women with kids. And it was like so like you look at this and you can't believe this is happening. Like like how it even possible? You see all this panic, all this stress, and yeah, I still have this picture in my memory, and this is something you can explain. This is what like you just see, and you just you just shocked all the time from this.
I just to like a small comment. I'm also from a country with wars like Iraq. Hopefully, nobody of our listeners experience it, but like, and you cannot even picture it until you experience it. So I understand like what you mean. So you took the train and then to the next city, right?
Yeah, we took train to Gdansk. Gdansk, it's a city where ferries, um, where the ferry are, which can bring us to Sweden, to Nynäshamn, to Stockholm, because it was other cities in Poland which has also ferries, but we needed specifically that one so we can be straight in Stockholm. And we also had relatives in Gdansk, so we stayed with them. So it was like all this journey from Polish border to Stockholm took like 4 days.
And in the ferry, they checked also like documents and everything, or how was
No,
it?
they didn't check anything. They like it was even free. Uh, it was free for Ukrainians with passport, and on ferry was like it was over full with Ukrainian people, and like you meet a lot of them, and they shared their stories, and some stories were like so horrible, so you can't like believe they saying this to you. And some like it was a woman with kid from Bucha. It's a city near Kiev. Like maybe heard about. It was super destroyed, and she was standing under this bridge to escape. And she was on ferry with us. And like later, I check up the news, and I was just shocked that I met a person from the epicenter of the whole horror.
Exactly. Mm.
So yeah, that was like you thought you finally safe, but you still meet like people, and you still getting shocked every time you meet someone and you speak to someone.
So before you arrived to Stockholm, all these days, like, how was like what you and your mom talk about? How do you eat? How was your day? Apart from like standing in the queues and waiting, like
Uh, yeah, all days was just about standing in the queues and waiting. No, but in train when we were leaving Kiev in a train which was goes so long time, we had some food with us which we prepared, and we also shared this food to other people who was in this train for 2 days and they had nothing to eat. So we shared a little bit, and it was no like mostly of the time was no connection, so we just phone connection. So I can't really check what's going on, like what's the news, what's with my relatives or friends. I had no idea, and for like day and a half it was no connection.
you use WhatsApp, right? Or what?
Telegram, yeah,
Telegram. Okay.
Telegram, and it's also it's for communication, and you also have a lot of channels with different
Like
news.
news, yeah.
Yeah, and it's really like comfortable to have this in everything in one app. Mm. Uh, yeah, then we came to this city on the west of Ukraine, and we were just staying in an apartment. We were going to grocery. We were walking in the city just to, I don't know, distract ourselves somehow, just to, like, I don't know, go out and look for some sightseeings. Maybe it sounds crazy, but that helped a lot. Or go to like some cafe to just, I don't know, get just to escape from your thoughts, because if you stay at home you just you just update the news every time and you're getting crazy of this.
That's true. And how was like the money? Did you had cash or did you have like you use your card?
I had card and cash, but I could pay with card all the time mostly. There was no problem with that.
So you arrived to Stockholm.
Yes, we
How,
arrived to Stockholm. My boyfriend meet us.
how was your feelings like when you hear that you enter the Swedish water or border or?
No, I was so happy to be reunited with my boyfriend, because it's the one scene when you just come into another country as refugee, and it's another scene when you have already like people
Family.
know here. Yeah, family. And I feel really relieved. It was maybe one of the first time of the whole since war started when I was feeling better from that point.
Yeah. So you went to your boyfriend apartment and so on.
My mom and grandma stayed in my boyfriend's apartment, and my boyfriend's cousin, she gave apartment for me and my boyfriend for first months, until we find something for my parents, and then like he found these volunteers who agree to my mom and grandma live there.
So or you live in Stockholm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you enter, also did they check something or no? Did they check the document of the dog?
No, they were just they were just standing and like greeting you. Like they didn't check any passports. And yeah, that was relief for me, because I was worrying a lot about dog. What's gonna happen? That was really risky, I realize now, but
You have no choice.
yeah, there was no choice
no, of course
basically.
no,
Like,
of
and
course
of course they're not gonna do anything with dog,
No, of course not. They will
because
not
we
like.
were running up from war.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
We tried to save it anyway. Like,
Yes, no, Swedish people not that cold.
but Swedish border police maybe are.
Yeah, so tell us, you came to Stockholm now in the flat. Now you have a roof, you have a food. So what was on your plan? What should you do now? Are you going back home or what? Like the new plan? What is the new plan?
I had no new plan, because I realized my plan is just to settle down here.
Yeah.
At least for me.
Mm.
I wasn't sure about my mom. They just stay there. We just gonna look how the situation gonna be updated.
Mm.
As soon as we have somewhere to stay for them.
Yeah.
Like it's fine. Like I
Mm.
can continue to live. So I was like first week I was just trying to rest from everything what
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
I was meeting a lot of friends, family of my boyfriend, and
Okay.
that helped me to
just forget a bit.
just to get a little bit distracted.
Yeah.
Then I start to study. I start my Swedish lessons again, which was on pause, just to have something to do. So I just
Yeah.
basically started to continue living
Yeah.
as much as it possible. I was helping a lot with my mom documents organization,
Yeah.
because it was long process here in the beginning. Like you have to stay in a queue near
Migration
out of the
office.
migration. Usually it took so many hours. So like I was doing this kind of
Okay.
stuff. Yeah.
To like register and all this.
Yeah, register and yeah, just made an application, just stay in line.
Okay.
Just maybe go to I was going a lot to demonstration first.
Okay.
Like first days when I was there.
Mm.
I was also going to I was volunteering a lot first months.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of people who come there, they don't speak any language, and
Yes.
they just need someone who can speak Russian or Ukrainian and try to translate. So that was what I was useful for, and it was nice to get to do some help for people.
Yeah.
And to share this.
Yeah. So now we have like two stories. It's one about you that we're going to continue to talk about, one about your mom and grandma. So what happened with them until now?
Until summer, they stay there.
The flat here in Stockholm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like then we both went back together to Ukraine, but I just went to escort them. I was going to be back to Stockholm because I got to work and so on. Like this is my new home. I can't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
But I decided to go with my grandma and mom to Ukraine
because they want to go back.
Yeah, they want to go back, and they couldn't stay anymore in that apartment, and it was just a question of accommodation. And yeah, my grandma wanted to be home anyway, so it was hard for her to stay there. So we both made a decision to go back, and I was just going with them because I also wanted to came home to take some stuff, take some clothes and so on. Because when we left, I just took only my passport and pillow to sit in metro. I didn't have anything else with me.
So, like, after how many months did you go back home, or your?
It was 4 months
After the war.
After the war.
Start of the war.
It was in the middle of summer. So we came there in the beginning of March, and in the middle of summer they went back.
But I mean, when you go back, when mother and they know that it's war and it's like
Yeah, but it was mostly calm in Kiev at that time.
Okay.
It was pretty good situation. But from September they start
again.
Yeah. And my mom came back here.
Okay.
So now she's in
back
Stockholm.
here.
And she also has work here.
Okay, that's
she
nice.
found an apartment. So that's really good.
So back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you start to learn Swedish classes, right? And then you start to look for a job. Because like you became super viral and super famous on LinkedIn. And I don't know, I will go on your LinkedIn and see how many, because you posted your CV. And I think entire Sweden shared your CV.
Yeah, mostly.
Mostly, yeah. Here, wait, post.
Okay, here's your CV and like on LinkedIn, because I'm like always 24/7 on LinkedIn. So I saw like your CV has 2,310 likes, and I don't know how many views because you can see it how many views. Like, check it from
I
your
can
phone.
tell you if you want.
Yeah, check it from your phone. Like 47 comments, 221 reposts. Not even Bill Gates, the owner of Microsoft, has so many reach. This is your profile, activities, post. Scroll down, down, down. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can see. Okay, 213,000 views. Like, imagine, like 25, how to say, 250,000 people checked your CV and your story. So how was the idea that you post on LinkedIn, and instead of just like go for offices and look for a job and say hello?
It was idea of my boyfriend. It was idea of my boyfriend.
What is his name?
His name is Frederick.
Frederick. Shout out to Frederick.
Yes. It was his idea because the thing is, in Ukraine, you don't lose LinkedIn so much. You have other websites for job, for looking for work. Okay. And you don't use LinkedIn so much. So I wasn't really, for me, I just had an account there. And that was all my activity. I wasn't almost visited it. And when I came there, my boyfriend said, it's really good time to find work now because you're from Ukraine, like people try to help now as much as they could, and it's really good. It's really a good possibility to find work now.
Good timing, yeah.
Yeah, you can make this. You can make a post. I can make a repost, and my friends can make a repost, and so on.
What is he working with?
He working as a sales manager.
Nice. So he know how to sell.
Yeah, he know. He definitely know.
Yes. So you agreed. Okay, that was a good idea, and you posted.
Yeah, I agreed because I had nothing to lose. I needed to find some kind of work, and when I came there, I knew how the work situation in Sweden, especially if you come from other country, you don't really speak Swedish. And I was really prepared that I'm not gonna have normal work, at least for first year I'm here. And for me, the thoughts about having landscape architecture work here was kind of a dream, because I not used to have pin glasses and dream so much, especially just to get disappointed so easy. So
you were like too realistic.
And I was too much realistic.
I cannot speak Swedish. I'm just here new, so they will not take me in or like,
no, it was way of a dream just to get work here.
Yeah. So you posted your CV and you start like things start to rain, like messages and the comments, and everyone is sharing it. How was your reaction?
I was super shocked. I'm still super shocked that it worked that way. I never expected it. I still don't understand what special was in this post. So everything, so it becomes so virus. And I was a little bit even scared of such attention to my to me.
It's like it's the entire Sweden and Nordic in your profile, literally.
Yeah, and everyone's like, I got like a lot of mails, a lot of messages as on LinkedIn, as on my mail, as on my phone even.
Yeah, I was like, she needs to hire first a communication manager to manage all the DM, direct messages, emails, and so like, what were people telling you in the messages?
It was different work offers, mostly for landscape architecture, and I was so surprised that, oh wow, apparently I can't even go to interviews here. That was like
direct offer.
Direct offer.
Yeah,
exactly. I couldn't even imagine I could even go just for interview. That step I never even had in my.
No, that's head. Like you're not even Zaha Hadid. Like.
No, I'm not even. Yeah, I'm not even closer. and it was offers from different companies, like from managers who works in this company or colleagues. It was also a lot of freelance offers and so on. So it was
So you
like
were
a
like,
mix.
oh, I'm happy, I'm popular. I should move to Sweden before.
But I still think I was just in a good time, in a good place.
I think, how to say, maybe algorithm there is like also pushed, because I imagine there are many other people as well. Let's talk about architects now. I imagine there are many others as well. Maybe their posts didn't get so viral like yours. Maybe you were like the chosen one from the algorithm, right?
Maybe. Yeah,
No,
I don't
because
know.
like I'm watching carefully LinkedIn and I didn't see so many, but I saw your post was like crazy. So I don't know what's there, but good for you.
I don't know either, honestly. And I'm still continue. Sometimes I'm thinking about this, and I just think it was just mix of luck, mix of being in a good in a good time, in a good place, and
Frederick will tell you, no, it's just about you listening to me.
yeah, no, but
Yeah.
it was his idea, and I never thought it gonna work. Honestly, I thought it's like a bullshit. Like how it just
Yeah,
an
like,
app.
right?
How it can make me find work.
So no, I'm also like a grateful for Frederick, because now we are colleagues. We have you here on the AFRY. It's a big. So tell me, because I saw in the comments like big names emailed you and big companies emailed you, studios very famous. That you okay, but come to us and so on. I guess you went to so many interviews, right?
I went around to 10 interviews.
Wow.
Some of them maybe were like second. And yeah, it was around 10 interviews.
10 interviews.
But I think it would be more, but I just
stopped.
Yeah, I just stopped because I start to focus on the companies, which I just realized I can be a potential like worker here.
Do you know that you got more interviews than me?
Nee. But a lot of interview that doesn't mean that you can find a good work.
Like, yeah, true also. But you have more chances to.
Yeah, you have more
Yeah,
chances.
yeah.
And it's also good to compare.
Yeah.
Because
Precis,
different-
exactly. You know like what's there. So like, but did you know about the Swedish market? Like which office is leading, which offices are niched within this specific kind of landscape, or how was the market for you?
market for me was just according websites. The most usable website, Land Design, which I used to use as in university as for work. And here you can just pick up the country, like for example Sweden, and then you see all offices. And according to this website, I was finding out, okay, this office is popular, this popular. Of course, like just super big company, just from the beginning. You don't need to search for them. That was maybe on my imagination of market in Sweden, because that's maybe how usually you start to search.
So what kind of offices did you had interview with? Big, small?
I had interviews with different one. It was two big one, really popular. It was like maybe a little bit smaller, and it was also just like little offices with only focusing on landscape, and they don't do anything else. They pretty small, but they also pretty famous. So it was different experience, and it was a lot to compare.
Did you feel that in the interviews they were feeling sad and like, hey, welcome, just because like let's say you're from Ukraine, get a job here, like not so much looking at your skills and so on, if you understand my question?
No, it was, as I could sense, it was not like no one was invited me because I'm from Ukraine. Like when I just started interviews, almost everyone said like, you here not because we want to have pity to you that you're from Ukraine. Of course, like of course we're so sorry for
It's
you
an
and all
aspect, yeah.
situation, but you here not because you're from Ukraine. Like we can't hire
not just because of Ukraine.
No, not just because of this. And that was seriously the first what everyone just said to me.
What do you think? What do you feel when they tell you this? Is this good or no?
No, I was feeling that. I was feeling, of course, good, because otherwise I would be questioned all the time myself. Like, maybe with time, if I would work there, why they even hire me? Maybe they don't need me as an architect. They just need me because they want.
They feel sorry, or maybe just for a good image or brand.
Yeah, maybe for this too.
Yeah.
So, but I was feeling, in a way, I was feeling really good that I maybe worth something. I'm not just architect from Ukraine who looking for work.
Yeah.
It's good to realize that someone need your experience, need your skills.
Yeah.
Even though you're not from Sweden.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have a value and you can create a value.
Yes.
So what was like the interesting and not interesting with the interviews you had? Was it difficult to have these interviews? Was it like taking energy of you, preparation, or how was it?
It was, the first interview was maybe difficult because it was my first interview ever in Sweden. And you sometimes don't know what is good to say, how to make it short, like how to speak shortly about yourself so they know all information for you, because you can go on for long not having the whole idea. So that was hard for me, but with time I learned also what should I say, what usually people interested about, so you have already this question answers for this question. Yeah.
AFRY, where were we in your list? Like top, down, or
of course.
How happened that we appeared on your list? Because I saw they were like super cool offices as well.
Yeah, but it's also about the vibe. It's not about the name only, because for me it's important how the situation is inside, how you communicate with each other, how you feel about each other, because this is the most important for work, the communication between the colleagues and like the vibe in general in the group.
Yeah. Where was AFRY named in your list? Now you have a job, so you can be honest.
I didn't have to a list. It was just about how I was feeling about the interview and the people who was interviewed me. And when I was at AFRY, I felt like this interview was really friendly. I really like
thank you
people. It was really comfortable also. I didn't need to.
It was like, with Sarah?
It was you and Sarah, yeah. It was
our manager. For listeners, like Sarah Birado is our manager. And first we interview me, and Sarah interview Sasha. Yeah.
Yeah. It was really natural and comfortable for me.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I felt really good.
Nice.
Like no one pushing me, and I'm just can be myself. And
how was my interview skills?
Was really good. I thought you like HR or something.
No, because Sarah told me you can like join me in this interview and so on. No, because actually I saw your post, and then because here we need to hire more people because we're just growing. And I told Sarah, this is interesting. And, like at AFRY, we work a lot with the inclusion diversity. And I told her it could be an interesting like profile for inclusion diversity, So we have more different people from different schools. So we think different and so on. And she'd be like, yes, why not? Let's do it. And she texted you. And I'm like, okay, now it's time to practice my interviewing skills, not as a podcast, but now more like work.
No, but it was really good.
Yeah,
It was professional.
Yeah.
Maybe because you know what kind of question you
Yeah.
need to ask.
I remember, like, I told you, you can explain to them, like, because I told you, oh, show us your profile and
I think it
portfolio.
was second interview
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I showed my portfolio, because first one we were just
like hello.
just hello, yeah, just more introducing him.
Yeah. And the second one, I'd be like, no, I need to make sure.
Yeah, you need at least to see my portfolio at the second interview.
It was really beautiful. I told you, oh no, I like this and I like this.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So after, like, the interview with us, so because then you had, like, some options, right?
Yeah.
You need to make a decision. So how did you think there? By the way, for all the listeners, I'm super happy because finally my podcast and interview skills paid off.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes, we have you here. So yeah, how did you think that time?
I think I honestly I didn't really. I googled before the first interview about AFRY, but I didn't found a lot of landscape, and I was just a little bit. Maybe I need to try to search more. And no, I was feeling that I could fit there because I felt that I could. Like people welcome me here. I could be like a member of this team, and people are really nice and like open. That's what I'm surprising about Swedish people, that wherever you go, like people really nice to you. Even on works interview, even if you're not like good for this position, you still gonna be respected as a person, as a professional anyway.
So you decided to start here.
Yeah.
And did you email all the other people and told them thank you and so on? Or?
Yeah, of course I emailed everyone, even though who didn't give me any offer. I just emailed that like I found a work, and thank you for your time.
That's nice.
Yeah.
A lot of communication, right?
Yeah, a lot. It was so much
like just
in
writing
my life ever, because I'm not really fan of communication, you know, like calling, especially like text. It's like not that horrible, but like calling people, it's
So when you decide to start here, was it like people? I guess not much like name or salary or work task, right? Like what was like your, how to say, not parameters, but aspect that made you decide this is the job I want to take? Because like when you take a job, you think about salary, location, people, task, position, you know, all like some different aspects.
I realized that AFRY is pretty good company, pretty big company. And there are a lot of international people.
True.
So they know how they have this experience how to work with people from different backgrounds. And I thought that I can feel comfortable in this society. And AFRY also pretty big company in Sweden and in the whole world, I guess.
55 offices.
Quite big. So it's a good idea to start work in Sweden with such company.
Do we have an office in Kiev?
Yeah.
We have that.
Yeah.
That's strategical.
I think it's not working anymore.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Okay, so now let's talk about that. You started. Okay. How was this the office for you? Like this a new community, new people, a new atmosphere? Is it like I wrote down like here on the list like office, tools, communication way, working hours, team building, project salary, and all of this. We can start like with the office and tools.
First, because in Stockholm, AFRY has 2 offices. And I didn't know about this because I was coming to this big one in
the headquarter.
Had one. And it was pretty far from where I live. It's like took an hour for me to get there. And first time I was working there, and then Sarah told me if it's too far, if this office is too far for you, you can you can go to office in Mariavik, which is like 8 minutes for me with a bike from my house, and
you're like, what?
of course, that was like that was always a dream for me, to live super close to work, so you don't spend few hours just for the road. And I started to work from that office. I met new colleagues, which were really nice with me. They explain everything how and still I continue ask some questions. They try to learn me the system, how everything works, how the project and the rules and so on, like so many stuff. Because when you come to another country, everything is new. Of course. For you.
I mean, when you come to another office in the same country, things are new. So imagine changing country.
Yeah, it was really difficult for me in the beginning.
Do you think here in Sweden we are like complicating things too much of administration and stuff compared to Ukraine?
Yeah, but I don't think that it's really bad. I think it's really good. I think it has to be like this. It's one of the most important aspects in work.
So you don't feel that there's too much of administration, logging in, program softwares, routines?
No, like you understand why for what is this?
Yeah,
it's make life easier, and like you can just go website and read everything.
Yeah.
Of course, you can ask your colleagues also, but maybe they don't have so much time to guide you.
Yeah.
And this is a special program for beginners, and you have all information.
Yeah.
Which you need to know.
So how was like the first days here at AFRY? Did you get the same image that you had from our interview and so on? Or we just told you like we lied to you?
No, it was really like confusing because a lot of things were new for me.
Yeah.
Like extremely new, like which I haven't even experienced before. It was a lot of this onboarding stuff. We don't really have this in Ukraine. If you just your first day you start work, you work with projects straight away. Here you learn more process, how the system work, how what is company doing, what is the goals and so on.
Yeah.
So I think it's good because you can work in company, but you had no idea what the company is, what the
like what is like mission, vision, and who is there, and what they stand for, and so on.
Yeah, and that's what you need to know, because otherwise, how you can
like
work and do your work?
Yeah,
good.
So these are the first days, and how what do you think about like our way of communication? Like, is it different than Ukraine? Like the way we communicate, when and how?
It's super different in a way that there is no frames between people. I mean, if you're a boss, you can have the same level of communication with like with a person who just started or just practicant or
doing internship
and so on. So like there's no frames. You can go together for lunch. You can speak about different stuff, go for coffee, but you still like have different positions.
Like you're a manager, you're
you're like. But in Ukraine, it's a little bit old school still for me. Even in more like even in more modern companies where like a lot of young people, you still feel this
hierarchy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like you still feel like that this person is boss, and he's not gonna go and drink coffee with you.
Okay, just because like he's cool with his position
and
maybe, like above you in the hierarchy system.
Maybe I don't know. I think it's just more culture thing. It's not because of people want to be that, but it's just because it's history and culture. And I realize how comfortable it is just to be
being yourself.
being yourself, being open, and be able to speak with your boss about not only work and like what you do, who you are behind of this.
So like you find it easy just to talk with Sarah,
Yeah.
like because now we have Sarah as our manager.
Yeah, it was easy to talk with manager from the beginning. Like you don't feel any
like hierarchy or something.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
So, and you don't like there's no hierarchy, not only between Sarah but between other colleagues who is like maybe
Like seniors
has bigger position than you. Like if you don't know, even if you just knew one and you don't know who everyone is, you just feel that everyone is on the same level, and that's really great. That's what I really love about Sweden, to have this. It makes your life much comfortable. You feel comfortable at work. You don't have this fear, okay, she's my boss, I can't say this and this. Of course you can't say some things, you can do what you want, but in some aspect it make your life easier.
Yeah, of course, because then you're honest, you can be yourself.
Yeah.
And then when you're comfortable, you can be extra creative and do your job.
Exactly. You don't need to afraid your bosses.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's so stupid thing ever.
Yeah. Do you by the way, but this is like, to be honest, because I work in different companies, it's not the case everywhere here. So just to mention to our listeners, like I also work with other companies and so on, and then the boss was like the boss and was that kind of hierarchy. So also like depends on company, but in general, yes, I agree with you. Like here you have easy way of communicating and so on. So how do you see, like, because we use emails and Teams and we don't use Telegram or WhatsApp. Is it the same as back home?
In a way, it's the same. At my first company, we also used mails.
Yeah.
And like calls. Because it was pretty big company, and of course you can have random tools for communication. It was pretty structured.
Yeah.
But on my previous, it was like it wasn't super framed. Like doesn't matter how you communicate, you just need to do your work.
So you use like Telegram and
yeah, it was just Telegram communication between.
Yeah.
We even sent to customers some
Also.
projects through Telegram. But
so
in
cool.
a way, it was easy.
Yeah, it's
but
like about.
I realized the structure of this is like it can be like that.
Yeah, yeah. And how is it now with the working hours here? Same, like 8 hours? Or?
Yeah, same, but I don't want to say a lot of bad stuff about my work in Ukraine.
No.
But there, in a way, you can overwork so much. It depends, of course, which your position, but especially if you work in architecture or business, you all the time overworking.
True.
And like sometimes you can work at nights.
Yeah, if like yeah.
And sometimes no one gonna pay you for this.
Yeah, like even to be honest, even here, like I know some people, they do competitions, and sometimes they stay late nights. This is like very specific cases, not like a general thing.
Because in Kiev, especially at my first office, it was general case. Not all the time, of course, but some groups, some departments, for instance, creative department, who was making the whole idea of projects, I think they were just living in the office. Like I was, like they were never leaving it. They were like always there. And it was mostly students, and like this is not how it should be.
No, it's not healthy at all.
It's not healthy, and you after some time you will hate your work.
Yeah, of course. You will like get burned. How to say, hospital, and then get
psychiatrist.
Sick. Yeah. It's not healthy at all. So how about projects here? How is it now? You got a project, or how was your involvement in project? Because I imagine it's completely different how we work here in Sweden than in Ukraine, like the process, the projects.
I think it's also really depends on the companies, because on my first company I was in like detail design department. We only did detail design. Like we couldn't be involved in other, like we couldn't like change like some part of the project if we want. So it was another department who was responsible for that. So we could only do our part of work, and there was with time, like you become bored of this. You don't want to have these frames. And then I changed to another company where I had more like possibilities. But I was doing only like landscape part, so like architecture part I couldn't be involved, of course. Even if I wanted, I
But
couldn't do that.
yeah.
So it's really depends, I think. Here in AFRY, it depends also which stage I joined the project. Like some projects I joined from the beginning, so we all draw like conception drawings, and then we develop this with other stages. And sometimes I get into project on the late stages when I just help to like change some details. So
Cool. Do you have how many projects do you have now? Too much to do? Not so much?
I think more than 5, but some of them not super big. It's like playgrounds.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
So now I see. Maybe you're happy because now you're doing conceptual stuff, right?
Yeah, and it's more difficult to do conception. It's like sometimes you never know if you're just a person who can do conception. Maybe you don't have like you're not super creative. Maybe just good at some other stages. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It depends, like of your talent and your skills and so on.
But it's also good just to improve, like try everything, try different. Maybe then you find out which is your part.
Is it the same like working flow and process here and back home? Or no, here like a lot of steps to get some drawing done?
No, I think it's the same. Yeah, because like you draw first, then you need to have some kind of agree, like customer need to say yes or no, and then you continue. So I think almost the same. Yeah.
So you don't feel like here it's like too complicated and so many steps to documentation and so on?
No, maybe so much not documentation, but like here you have like a plan for every, like you have specific amount of hours. You split this for some of them goes to meetings, some of them for skis. So we didn't had this. We just had
you have a budget.
We had a budget for like a drawing stage, for instance, for conception stage.
Yeah.
And then you just need to split by yourself.
You decide your work. Okay.
And sometimes you can't. You need to have really good planning skills and time management skills, which not everyone have. And sometimes it's good just to have specific amount of hours for a specific kind of work. Yeah. So you can fill the time also.
Yeah. Yeah.
And plan.
Do you like it so far, or you find it difficult here?
No, it's not really difficult if you know how to organize your time rightly, but it's something you have to learn. I mean, some people good with this, some not, and it's in general it's good thing to have.
How is the team building? Do you feel, how long now have you working with us?
6 months.
6 months. Soon you will be like more full-time.
I am.
You already?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nice.
It was on my last weekend.
Okay, nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, I should know that because I was part of the interview. But anyway, so now I'm happy. Cool.
Yeah, I'm so happy too.
Yeah.
This is like
well deserved.
Yeah, yeah, but I just
wait, not well deserved?
No, maybe deserved. I don't want to be super. arrogant. But yeah, I'm just still can't believe that maybe it's not super big thing.
It is a big
but
thing.
for me it is.
Good job. No, it is a big thing. Good job, really. So, okay, tell me about team building. Like, how do you feel now you're part of the team? How is it going? Like when you started and now?
I think here in Sweden, people focusing on team building, doesn't matter which business it is. And I think it's really great thing to do because this is important and it's good to invest time and money in this because you want everyone feel happy, and in the end your product you doing is good and it's worth it. Because I didn't have this before. We had something like maybe work parties, but it wasn't like you came all together and you just speak what you like, what you don't like, what you want to change with all team. We didn't have this. And here I experienced this first time when we went to North Shopping as a for just team building trip. So we just went together just to discuss work
Like
and
atmosphere, structure.
yeah, and everyone shared their own thoughts about work, and this is really great opportunity, I think. You also you share your thoughts, and you also know what others people think. Maybe you guess what they like, but it could be totally the opposite, and it's really great to know, I
Yeah,
think.
I like that trip as well. We went to this North Shopping city. It's a beautiful city.
Yeah.
I think no, it was important, like for the team to, as you mentioned, like to tell what you think about, if you like things or you don't like, and if you have some ideas for how can this be better and so on. So I think
Yeah,
it was a really good
it's
trip.
really
Yeah,
great to do that.
yeah,
And you understand also why you do that. It's not
exactly. It's not just because of
because let's do some fun, let's go somewhere
yeah.
because we're tired to sit in the office. No,
Yeah.
it has a purpose
Yes,
also.
a lot of fika here as well.
Yeah, a lot, but it's nice. Sometimes you can be so focused you forget to make pause, and this is like good reminder, like you should stop. And it's also a lot of communication between colleagues. Sometimes even which the colleagues you may be not super close to, you still communicate with them, and you know what's going on in their life, what they do, in what they interested in, and so on. And it's also yeah, it's like it's almost like work friends here.
Yeah, yeah.
But not friends,
Not friends, but like
really like friend atmosphere.
yeah, friendly atmosphere. Exactly. For the international listeners, fika is like drinking coffee and talking.
Pause.
Yeah, pausing, drinking
pause.
coffee, and talking. It's like a Swedish tradition. And now we have also Herman, our community, or what do you call it, community manager? Like making sure that we go to fika. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
He is good at this
yeah.
role.
Yeah, we have like a new role here. Like it's not mood manager, but more like community manager or something like this, just making sure that we feel good and we go and drink coffee and talk with each other.
No, that's good. Someone need to control this.
Yeah, and he's super cool doing this.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So what is your biggest challenge now? Or challenges, you can mention more than one.
The biggest challenge for me is language, obviously. Even though Sweden is a country where everyone speaks English, as soon as you start to work in a company, even though it's international, it's this still main language is Swedish, and you need to understand that you need to learn it anyway. Even though like someone just can speak English with you all the time, you still need to know the language because this is the main key. The whole documentation, customer information, meetings, everything is in Swedish. And if you don't understand what's going on, like you almost outsider. So this is it's still challenging for me, but in the beginning it was really it was really difficult because I didn't know language so good. But now it's a little bit better because I practice every day, and at least I understand something better now. So
it's coming. So far, you're learning. It's coming. Like if you put
yeah,
energy and time on it, so
and you practice also.
yeah, you need to practice.
You not
Yeah.
just listen. You also need
Yeah.
to open mouth and speak, even though you're not sure if it's correct.
I think the atmosphere here is very open. Like even if you don't say correct, people will tell you like, okay, yeah, good. It's not like they're gonna laugh and say, "Huh, stupid, you
No,
cannot."
of course
You
not.
know, it's like the opposite. They will help you.
Yeah. So language, the most challenging, and also like still culture,
Yeah,
still system,
yeah.
and yeah.
How about like 1 year from now when you celebrate 1 year at AFRY, we do some podcast in Swedish.
Okay.
Deal?
Deal.
Nice, nice. I like that. So
Good
what?
motivation also
Yeah,
for me.
right. What other challenges you have?
Challenge and maybe become part of the system, but it's include all of I just said.
You mean like which system? Like as a country or as a company or
As a culture.
Sweden?
Yeah, like maybe office culture,
Mm-hmm.
Swedish. It's not that I want to change myself. I want still to be who
Yeah.
I am, where
Yeah.
I came from, but maybe understand more people.
Yeah, like how they think.
In this way.
Yeah, yeah.
Because sometimes I don't really understand why it's like this, but
Yeah.
not in another way because it's different culture.
Yeah. No, I think it's about time. So you experience more people, you
Yeah.
experience culture, then you learn how this works.
Exactly.
Yeah. Awesome. So what is your like wish?
In a career
Yeah.
sense, my wish is to settle here in Sweden and just to grow here from who I am. Maybe just improve some skills, improve new programs. Also, like start to do product what people in Sweden need, not only what I think they need, but to have understanding what people want, what kind of a landscaping. So grow here as a professional landscape architect in Swedish system.
And what can we in Sweden learn from Ukraine? More like let's talk about you can it's up to you, like landscape architecture or working or like some interesting stuff.
Maybe you can learn how to deal with deadlines. It's not that it's a good thing about work in Ukraine as landscape or just architect or whatever, but in this field maybe in some others, but it's like how fast you can deal with deadlines because customers can change their mind super quickly, and sometimes they give so little of time to make changes. But you understand that this change is going to take more time, but you need to done this tomorrow. You can't change the date anymore, and that's how you like learn yourself how to work quickly and quality in the same time.
So we are like a bit slow here or panic.
Nay, it's because you have structure system more than we have, but that what learned me to work fast and quality.
Okay, yeah. So learn about being fast, doing stuff with a good quality.
If you can say like that.
Other things that we can learn or get inspired.
I don't know. Can't really in landscape perspective. I can't really. I was on my first work. I was super careful about details. We did like super detailed one, and because the details were super important, because sometimes people who gonna build this, they don't know how it works, so you need to explain like to a
Yeah,
child,
instructions and so
like
on.
so maybe here it's not really necessary, because people know how to do this, right? And it's more controlled, because in Ukraine it can be sometimes that builders can do what they what they
What they
want sometimes, not what the
Yeah,
projects are.
yeah, yeah. So, like now, after all this time, do you have time to do your hobbies, do things you like? How's it
uh,
going? Like more on a private life side?
I'm still learning how to I'm still learning time management, because some can be bad with this, but it's about time, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's okay, because I can combinate my personal life with work, because we start work here early in the morning and you can finish like at 5, so you have almost half of the day free and you can do whatever you want. But it's not that I have a lot of hobbies. I'm studying Swedish in my free time, because this is what's most important for me now. And sometimes, I don't know, I can go some exercise. I used to paint a lot, but now I more paint maybe is some drawings at work. So
Cool.
mm.
And like, if we talk about work-life balance, do you find it like, okay, this is work, this is private life, or no? How is it for you?
uh yeah, as soon as work like is
Finish.
finished, you realize, okay, now it's private life.
Mm.
But sometimes, of course, you can think about work moments at home. You can draw sometimes something at home if you just have you came
Like,
up with some
yeah,
ideas. You
yeah.
just can have quick. But it's not like you work and
Mm.
your work is your hobby. Maybe that's why you can do this a little bit
Yeah.
in your free time.
Interesting. No, but interesting to talk to you. I'm very happy you give your time. You came here. You share your story with interesting details as well. And as we made the deal, like in 1 year, we're gonna do
Yeah.
one in a follow-up episode in Swedish. So now we are like in the closing section, like in the final section of this episode, and that's about you giving messages. So the first message is about you giving a message to your team, like here at AFRY, your team, urban planning and design team.
No, my message to a team that I'm really happy to work with you. Honestly, you're great people. Everyone is so different, but everyone's so united here in this little group who are trying to do good stuff. And I feel really comfortable with you, even though like I'm from different background. So yeah, I'm really glad to work with you.
Nice. And I can answer on the behalf of the team. Now we are very happy to have you here. Like it's you're a great person, a great landscape architect, and like you have a lot of things, a lot of value to add, both like as a in a project, but also in working as a culture.
Mm.
So we are also very happy to have you, and I think like getting a full-time employee contract is also like a
A big thing.
sign that
Yeah.
we show we appreciate you
Yeah.
being with
And
us.
yeah, thank you so much. And also, I forget to add that uh, I'm glad that you accepted me, like, because it's maybe sometimes difficult on a mental level to accept someone from different, maybe work also, because you think you used to think in a different way. So it's also about patience and about language, that sometimes people have to speak English with me because I understand. So I'm really grateful for this.
I think we have a great team here. It's like a
Mm.
team, you know. If your success is part of ours, so
Yeah.
it's like we are a team.
Yeah, this is like a circle.
Yeah, nice. The next question is about you giving 3 takeaway messages to our listeners.
Uh, my first one is never stop believing yourself, even though like you think it will never work. I'll never worth it. I will never find, for example, work abroad because it's a lot of difficult. Like, it's good to stand on the earth and not like lie in the clouds and have like some kind of picture. Okay, this is my plan. This is it's good. But sometimes it's also good to stand still and just take the situation as it is. If it's not common, maybe it has to be like this. So never stop believing yourself, but maybe don't dream too much, so not to get disappointed.
So this is the first message. 2 more.
Maybe 2 messages in one. I can't be short.
Yeah. One more, then one more message.
Yeah, everything is possible. My example, maybe it's not example for everyone because it's different situation, but it shows that everything is possible. There is no borders. Like, no matter where you came from, you still can be who you want to be. There is no borders in this world, only in your head.
Exactly, like the sky is not the limit.
Yeah.
Like your mindset is the limit.
Yeah.
It's about how you think.
So you never know, like, where life can bring you. Like, sometimes bad things happen, and in the end you have good something for yourself.
Yeah. Interesting. Thanks for the takeaway messages. And now is about you. Ask a question to us. So no more questions from my side. This is the last question, and it's going to be asked by you. So what is your question to me and to our listeners?
My question to the audience is, maybe someone also had experience or have an experience right now to find a work in other countries, and what the most difficult part from all of this, what you struggle about, what interesting things you can share.
So share like your experience with others, so you can inspire and get
maybe
inspiration.
there could be another inspiring story about finding work abroad.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much, Sasha. I'm very happy to talk to you.
Thank you so much too. I'm really glad to share my story.